Let's face it, a lot has changed on the internet just in the past year alone. I'm thinking of the 7 years it's been for me since I started running a digital business, teaching memoir, publishing, editing, writing, blogging, building an audience, building my email list, setting up my website. It's a different world now. I'm seeing businesses who had built their entire foundations on Facebook ads have gone bust because of the way that the algorithms changed and the pricing and the way that Apple was working with Facebook ads. So they just couldn't run their business on that model anymore. Massive changes in social media. We saw the Facebook blackout. TikTok was banned and then it came back. Instagram keeps changing its algorithm, and people who were monetizing on Instagram suddenly just were devastated to lose most of their income when they stopped pushing out certain content in certain ways. It's become absolutely clear that the most important thing you need to focus on is organic content marketing, because this is going to stand the test of time. This is what I've been doing since 2018. I started blogging. Now, a lot of those people that were investing heavily in Facebook ads told me I was on the slow boat to China, focusing on organic content. But it's not just about paid ads. It's also AI, ChatGPT, and people are now creating all this content. And it's very, very clear that it is written by ChatGPT. You know, a lot of people who don't like writing and don't actually understand the psychology of marketing, writing their sales pages with ChatGPT and just using these tools to get a massive amount of content out in a short space of time. But it actually doesn't build your brand in the long term, because Google doesn't recognize and doesn't value this AI created content as much as it does unique original content. And they have ways to check, don't worry. So I find comfort in that when I'm blogging and writing emails. I write all of my emails and my blogs myself. I don't use any robots or artificial generated stuff. I put my face to my videos. I'm not just putting out faceless videos out there from an app. And yes, it takes a bit longer and you have to be brave and courageous, but it pays off in the long term. And this is why I have made my Create Your Writer Platform course, which is really a digital marketing course. It is taking you through the fundamentals of digital platform and digital marketing for writers, but also for anyone who wants to build a personal brand online. And it is the reason that I now have that available to purchase as a short course separately to the Book Deal Accelerator, because you might not be wanting to pitch a story to publishers and get published. You might already be published, you might have self-published, but you know how crucial having a personal brand and a digital presence is to selling anything, whether it's a book or a coaching service or anything. Ask yourself, when was the last time you engaged in a business transaction with someone, whether that was someone you were hiring or someone who was hiring you, that didn't involve being Googled and understanding how you come across online? You might have even done your job interview via Zoom or by a video call. You might have had to submit through an app or something like that. What I do see is people are leaving social media in larger and larger sums because of the way the algorithms are changing, because of political reasons, because it is just a waste of time and money. You're basically creating content for another person's corporation, not your own brand, and it's not content that is going to amplify and accelerate and build your business. And that's the problem with having a business that solely relies on social media or paid advertising, is when you don't have these foundations set up with your website and your content and your SEO, search engine optimization, people basically can't find you. Or if they find you, they're not seeing the best of your work. So I'm going to include a little clip I've just recorded for Create Your Writer platform, because things have changed so much and they're going to continue to change in the digital world. And I want you to have an overview of what's important to focus on now if you are trying to build a personal brand-based business or your digital presence for a book deal online. So I now put social media right down the bottom, and here's what I would put at the top. You know that you need to build a presence online. I do want to set a very clear perimeter here. This is not a course on writing your memoir. This is not a course on writing or pitching to publishers. This is a short course on setting up your digital presence. So we're going to go through 3 fundamental aspects of your digital platform for a writer: your website, your social media presence, and your SEO, search engine optimization or optimized content, whether that's a blog, a YouTube, a podcast, or if you are perhaps creating things on Substack. I'm also going to briefly talk about your email list. The reason that I created this course was in 2022, I launched a program for writers called the Book Deal Accelerator. I'd been teaching memoir writing and finishing a book-length publication standard memoir manuscript for a number of years by then, and I had a lot of writers who kept asking me for the strategy to get published. There were so many misconceptions flying around, like we need, 1 million followers on social media and things like that. And I basically created the Book Deal Accelerator to show writers how to take an essay or a freelance piece of content for someone else's channel or media, or even an event or a multimedia piece, and use my specific strategy and turn that into a book deal. And then when I started teaching the course in a group coaching format, it became apparent I hadn't realized that so many people are at that beginning stage where they don't even have a website, or they don't know what to put on it if they are pitching a book, or why they should even be on social media, or what would even be valuable to share if you were in the process of pitching a book. Now, it is early 2025 when I'm recording this. And in terms of priorities for your digital presence, I now believe, because of the advancements of AI, artificial intelligence, things like ChatGPT, which is basically regurgitating content. There's many reasons, political reasons, specific country-specific reasons. Here is the priority of what you need to focus on with your digital platform if you are trying to get a book deal, and if you are trying to build a business and a personal brand-based business, creative business. Your website must come first, because your website is something that you own. It is like your email newsletter list. This is an asset, and it means that it's going to appreciate over time, and you own it. Things like social media, I classify Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or X, Blue Sky, TikTok, things like that. And I'm not really on social media much, and I'm taking more and more of it off. I feel like we are going through a big global shift away from social media at the moment. And so your website and your email newsletter list are going to become more and more valuable. This is why setting up these foundations is absolutely crucial, and the quicker you get onto it, the better. Now, SEO-based content is things like YouTube and Pinterest, because they are not social media platforms, even though a lot of people think they are. They are search engines. So when you type something into Pinterest, for example, it'll bring up all of the search engine based content. That's why, Pinterest is amazing for if you want to learn how to make a recipe or do some kind of craft. You'll get the specific recipe if you type it into Pinterest. And it's the same with YouTube. Podcasts are also good because you can put them on YouTube. So that's, again, search engine based content. And the more you can sort of avoid the whole social media sphere, because if you're a personal brand and you're thinking in the long term about your business, the better. Because as we've seen with Facebook, got shut down. It might have just been in Australia, but could also have been across the world a couple of years ago. TikTok got shut down very briefly in the US last month and then reinstated. There was a ban. Instagram has changed its algorithms so much since 2022 when I first taught the comprehensive masterclass. The reach of certain posts has gone down. Basically, you are creating content for a corporation. Whereas if you focus on your website, your email newsletter list, and search engine optimized content for YouTube and Pinterest and podcasts, for example, and your blog, that's another fantastic SEO based content that you can work on. You are actually building up an asset and a bank of work and a body of work that is going to build your brand over the long term. So this kind of digital content is really valuable. I now only repost to social media, so stuff that I've already created for my own channels. I might post a snippet on Instagram, for example, but that is the lowest on the list of priorities. So I just want to make sure that you are aware of what's important in 2025. The reason this search engine optimized content is more important than ever is because of the advancement of AI. It means that regurgitated robot created content is everywhere. So you creating original content, which is what I do. I've been blogging now for 6 years or 7 years, and I don't use AI to even write my headlines or any of it. I do research search engine keywords, but I don't type something into an engine and get them to write it for me. It is all original content, and that has been proven time and time again to be much more valuable to Google and to put your blog or your website or your YouTube or whatever you've created that content for up the top of the ranking list. So with that said, what we're going to cover in Create Your Writer platform may be basic, but it has the potential over the long term of your career to make you a lot of money and to give you the type of freedom that I now enjoy. I do all of my work online, and I don't need to go into a corporate office. I don't need a boss anymore. And I have this creative freedom, which is what it's all about for me. And I imagine it is for you too. If you would like to join the course, I'll link to where you can sign up below.